Hi, my name is Dave Johnson, and I'm a franchise business consultant with Medicine Shop, primarily working in the West region. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about some new things and maybe some pointers on credentialing your NCPDP profile. We're going to go through an actual tutorial online, and this is an actual account. And as such, I won't be able to dive into too much detail, but hopefully you'll get a good understanding of how to navigate the site. Simply access NCPDP online at accessonline.ncpdp.org. This link changed about 3.5 years ago, and so this is the new link to use. Once you go to this website, you'll see that a couple of things that kind of comes out to mind, and that is the contact information for NCPDP. It's terrific. They're a terrific resource, and they're always willing to help. I find that actually sending them an email is a little quicker than a phone call during the COVID time. So once you have your login, you simply log in, and this will take you to the screen that allows you to look and see what pharmacies you have. But before you dive in, I always like to go to the queue and make sure that we don't have anything that we previously submitted to NCPDP that hasn't been approved. If we have something that has been submitted and they haven't approved yet, and we submit something today, what it's going to do is grab that submission from last week or 2 weeks or maybe even 3 weeks ago, and it's going to grab it and take it to the back of the line along with our submission today. So just be aware of that. We have nothing that we previously submitted, so then we're going to go to manage pharmacies. If your user has more than one NCPDP, whether that be a single store pharmacy with combo NCPDP, maybe one for retail and one for NCPDP, you'll see 2 in here. Or maybe you're a multi-store owner that owns 5 or 6 stores, and you'll see those all in here if they're all tied to the same login. Simply click on My Pharmacies, and they're going to drag them down here. If you have multiple NCPDPs, they would be listed right here. Now you can go in and just view your profile by clicking on your DBA name. However, I find that clicking the edit pencil and then actually going into the edit profile segment is a lot more convenient in case you do need to make some changes. Once you log into that particular NCPDP, you're going to notice that there are 2 parts to your profile, and then a 3rd tab for verify and submit. We'll go through all 3 of these on a high level. Once you've set up your NCPDP and you have missing items, you're going to see that it's either in red or it's in some cases even highlighted, or both. This particular store right here, this Medicine Shop store, has everything filled out. There's a state board license and it's current. There's a DEA license and it's current. We know that because it's not highlighted. In order to change a state board license or a DEA license, what you do is you click on that, and this is going to show you all of your pharmacy licenses. Now, if you're a bordering city, let's say you're in California, but you're on the border of Oregon, you may have 2 licenses. You may have California and you may have Oregon. In order to update this, let's say that we've got our new one. This is getting ready to expire. We click on the edit, and that moves this information up here to be able to work with it. At that time, I would remove the old license, and a button to upload the new file would come up, and they prefer PDF. And then you could simply go here and change the date, and then you would click the update license. Now, this tells you right here, you've updated it, but you haven't submitted it for approval. So it's important that you remember that you have to hit submit. Now, at this point, if that was the only credential that I wanted to update, I could certainly hit submit, and then it would take me to the verify and submit screen. But let's say that I have to deal with this fraud, waste, and abuse as well. I can't just go down here and click on fraud, waste, and abuse, because I will lose the information that I've just loaded. And so one of the clunky things about NCPDP is now I have to actually click next all the way through till I get to the fraud, waste, and abuse. So the third item that we need to update in on a regular basis in part 1 is I talked about the state board and the DEA, of course, but also your fraud, waste, and abuse. Here you can see that the pharmacy has not yet completed their fraud, waste, and abuse attestation for 2021. It's really important to do that so that plans don't withhold future reimbursements. So the process for this is to first go into your learner bridge and verify that all your list of employees are current and accurate and that they've all completed fraud, waste, and abuse. Once you've done that, then you're simply going to click on the year, confirm what year you want to attest to, answer the questions through it. Have you completed all? Yes, we'll do that. And then it's going to take you to this screen. This is most generally, you'll click this first box saying that your employees have all completed fraud, waste, and abuse, just as we confirmed in Learning Bridge platform. If your pharmacy is a DME POS accredited, then you're going to click this box and you're actually going to put the accreditation firm and the date of accreditation. You're going to read through here and then you're going to answer one more question. Does your pharmacy participate with an offshore contractor? 99% of the pharmacies do not. However, there are some circumstances, maybe where you're using an outside biller for, say, DME POS, and you're going to want to click the button here. You're just going to fill out this basic information, and then you're going to hit the submit button. Okay. Once you've submitted, it'll take you to the part 3 verification. I'm just going to cancel out here and then go back in just to erase all the information or all the inputting that I've done here. So now we're complete with part 1. Let's say that we already submitted our fraud, waste, and abuse, and we're good to go there. Here you're going to see that our insurance, there's a problem with our insurance. But before we go to that, I want to call out this additional pharmacy detail. There's some new information that is required starting in 2021, and I just want to call those out. Number 1 would be, does your pharmacy have a policy and procedure for USP 800 compliance? If your pharmacy does, you're going to put yes, and then it's going to require you to upload it. Very similar to what happened with the anti-kickback policy about 5 years ago. If your pharmacy does not have a policy for USP 800, simply put no, but I would put that on your radar. You're really going to want one. It's going to be something that some PBMs and payers are going to be looking for in the coming years. The other one is, has your pharmacy completed cultural competency training and maintained evidence of completion? At this point, it appears to be a one-time ask. It's not required every year like the fraud, waste, and abuse attestation. That may change, but right now, if you're to actually click yes, it will save from year to year. And again, the cultural competency training should be verified before you click yes in the Learning Bridge platform. That's all of the major changes for 2021 and 2022 with regards to additional information. However, I do want to point out a couple of changes that happened, I believe, the fourth quarter of 2020, and that is in insurance. When you click on the insurance tab, here you can see that this pharmacy's insurance is shown to expire back in August of 2021. If we wanted to update that, we would simply remove the policy, reload the new Accord 25 certificate of insurance, and change the date. Noting that many insurance companies may change the policy number from year to year. For example, Pharmacist Mutual, in the second year, this would probably be 02. Just verify that your general liability and your aggregate are accurate, and that then you can go ahead and submit. Now, the change a couple of years ago is that they have started to ask for professional liability insurance. The pharmacy doesn't have it. You would simply click here. However, I would strongly encourage you to research your options for professional pharmacy liability insurance. And it's important to note that this is professional liability insurance for the pharmacy and not a specific pharmacist, even if that pharmacist is the owner. If you have any questions, you can certainly reach out to NCPDP. If the actual certificate of insurance is the same form and has the professional liability, simply click the document is the same, put in the expiration date and the occurrence, the amount of coverage, and then you would hit submit. If it's different, you would unclick this and upload your other policy for professional, put in the date and occurrences, and then you would hit submit. So here we are at the, let's assume that we went ahead and finished this all up, and we're going to hit submit. It's not going to let me because it's old. So we're just going to do an end around here real quick, and we'll go directly to the verify and submit. At this point right here, we're just going to certify that everything that we uploaded and changed is accurate. And we're going to also go ahead and ask for a new credentialing date of 12/21/22. And I would encourage all of you to, anytime you submit any credentials to NCPDP, to go ahead and ask for a new credentialing date. That way you have another year from that date, and we're good to go. It's also important to know that some things that you upload require your NCPDP PIN, and that is not the same as your password. It's a 4-digit PIN. If you've forgotten it, then you can simply click forgot my PIN, or you can go into my preferences and recover it, and they'll send you an email with your PIN. If you're simply uploading a new license, typically it doesn't require a PIN. If in this case, if we went ahead and tried to submit the profile for credentialing, it is going to give us an error. And the error is going to be that we don't have everything updated in order to get our profile credentialed. And in this case, it was the insurance is expired. And so it's not going to let us credential our profile because the insurance is expired. But assuming that we're good to go, then we go ahead and submit. And it's going to tell you that, hey, your credential date is expired, because in this particular case it is, and we want to go ahead and do it anyway. Once we've loaded it and it's accepted, then you're going to get an acknowledgement screen right here saying that it's going to take 5 to 7 business days. However, NCPDP has run as far as 3 weeks plus behind in approvals. So it's really important to plan ahead with your insurance documents as well as your licenses to be able to get them uploaded as soon as possible, so that you don't have past expired credentials in your profile. Once you've completed that and it's been submitted, then you will continue to get email notifications from NCPDP on any credentials that are expired until they approve it. And again, that can take as little as 2 or 3 days and as long as 2 or 3 weeks. So just be prepared to continually get those notifications. Within a day or so, you can then go back into the queue and verify that your submission is waiting to be approved back in the queue that we talked about at the beginning. And then if you have any further questions regarding your NCPDP profile, I would encourage you to reach out to your Medicine Shop FBC, or feel free to contact NCPDP directly at the contact information that you can find at accessonline.ncpdp.org. I hope you found a couple of little gems that might help you, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.